We succeeded after 2 or 3 years. 2 years now.
To kind of like each other.
Kind of, yes.
Kind of.
We started July 2015, so it's 2 years and a half. Not bad.
Not bad, no? I know. It's hard every day. I'm counting the hours and the minutes. But we're under contract, so we don't really have the choice, right?
When do we stop the contract?
I don't know. I think they keep selling the movie in other countries.
What about end of 2017?
It's 2 months. Can you hold 2 months? That's a lot.
Who runs the comedy?
You know, we and I'm sorry that we always do our little number like this, because you forget that we have done a documentary about other people, which should be just between you and us, but this is not the subject at all.
We happen to like each other, so that's the problem. It always shows up.
Mm-hmm.
What would have happened if you didn't get along? Maybe
we would be only, talking in separate rooms. We would have filmed from different angles.
Separate trailers.
Yeah, separate trailer, separate release.
2 director's cuts.
Exactly.
No, the thing is, we could work together because we have the same way to appreciate the people, to have empathy to people. And I'm curious about people. You are. I mean, I saw you on your way. When we meet people, we speak, we try to start a conversation. It's not Q&A, it's what can we share. Sometimes I tell things about my own life, or he speaks about what he does in other places. He tells about inside-out projects. So we try to establish something that conversation could be for our film. We tell them that we do documentary, that we will use it, we will edit it. This is not stealing something from other people's life.
Amen. We met because Rosalie, the daughter of Agnès, and who's also the producer of our film, realized that, we maybe had a lot in common, but we've never met. And Agnès had books of mine, and then when she wrote me, I told her, of course, I know Agnès, I've seen her films, and so she said, well, you two should meet. And I just, showed up. I took my bag, went to her house. We had tea and a few pastries. It was, a little bit before dinner, and I left, and then the next day she came back to my studio, but it was really like an arranged meeting, like when you have an old cousin, you're trying to marry him, and you should meet that person, except that we knew of each other.
But when I came to your studio, I took pictures of you, and the thing about the glasses, this is true that I know I can understand he doesn't want to take his glasses off, for photos at least. And it is true that it reminded me Godard, because at the time, in the 60s, when I did Cleo from 5 to 7, he had these dark glasses, yes, and never took them off. Just once, in a little sketch I did, which was inside Cleo from 5 to 7. I don't know if you know about that film. It's a film of 61. But inside the film, there is a little sketch in which Godard, his wife, and some friends, and Sami Frère, that he had taken his glasses off. I thought maybe I'll get him to do that.
And he was 33 at the time. That's what's crazy. Also.
Yeah, when I showed him the photo, I said I was 33. And he said, now it's me. I'm 33. A series of little coincidences that took us the feeling that it was doing fine.
Il y a de moins en moins de classe moyenne.
Ah oui, but it's working classes, what we know. Farmers and working class. Workers in the factory, it's not middle class, huh?
I mean, there's a bit of both. The farmer that takes care of himself, of the entire land, he runs kind of a small company to do that.
No,
it's not
he
a
runs
small
himself.
job.
He runs his work.
Yeah, but I mean, he used to run a lot of people, then the machines replace people, and now he's by himself. But the subject was, about the fact that slowly machines are taking over there, and he ends up alone dealing with hectares and hectares.
Yes, and instead of having friends working with him, he has a computer that he loves. He deals with the computer. It's very well. We wanted to share that because we still have in mind, even young people, that farmers do something with their hands. And he said he never touched any longer a tool, one of the farmer's tools. I'm saying we were learning by doing the film something that maybe other people know, but we were discovering things of today with a spirit of the past also. The past of the miner has been a big, big deal of work 100 years ago, 50 years ago. And it was a very, very warm community. But it's all gone. So there are some houses staying that will be destroyed soon. And the lady we met was one of the last ones staying in these typical houses. Oui. Eh. What we say that, tell about the chance that we did one street and another one, you know.
Yeah, when we went in the north, before we met Janine, you remember the woman that we pasted on her house before it got destroyed? And we were too actually.
But before meeting her,
yeah, we went to another street.
We had in mind to meet one of these people staying. And we were in the street.
We went in the street, knocked at the door, and someone told us, oh, there's actually an old woman living here with her son. They don't want to leave. We're like, okay, that would be perfect. We knocked at the door, and actually the son said, oh, we've already talked to some journalists before. And we're like, no, we're doing this. It's a completely different thing. And he was like, no, I'm sorry, she don't want to talk to anybody and stuff. So our world kind of collapsed, and I'm like, oh. And they said, okay, let's go to another street. And then in the other street, you know, we heard, oh, someone is living in the middle of the street. Keep going, you'll see it. It's a house with a little light. We knocked and we found Janine. So, you know, we really completely let the film dictated by chance entirely.
Organized, pre-organized, so the chance could help us.
Yeah.
We were in the condition that the chance could help us. What is prepared, we choose the place. So in one of the villages we knew, we want to go, I knew the mailman. But then, the minute we came, we met that servant woman.
The waitress.
The waitress who agreed.
The one who wore with the umbrella.
But you see, when we asked the man if he could lend us an umbrella, if he had one, he brought the one of the wedding of his mother.
And then they took us to the clock.
And then he said, I'm the clock man.
The guy that do the carillon in French, so in English is, you know, the bells, he take care of the bell. So it's completely, we were like, oh, sure. Whenever it felt interesting to us, we were like, sure, let's go. And Agnès being very, very curious, you know, we constantly ask everybody what they do. Do you know this guy? Are we pasting him? And then people felt, oh, maybe I could get involved in that. I have this wall, or I know this guy. And we really went like this as a little promenade where we would stop and talk and question.
Okay. We knew that 2 hours drive from there was a chemical factory that we had heard of, so we went there. First time just to look around, they asked us to put the mask, to be careful, to have something, and to obey. If there were a whistle, we should, we played the game. The first time they even made me change my shoes. No.
Really?
Really. Because they wanted shoes that could not slide. I don't know. Next time I said, stop all your shoes you gave me. They were much too big. So then we kept our shoes. But they obliged us to see a video.
Yeah, security,
before entering the. So it's interesting because we were discovering, curious about the way we did the whole thing. We did the thing, we watched the video, we spoke to people. And then we got along with someone, 3 of these people there, Adeline and Patrick, and we always explained our subject. And they were so nice, they did a little tent, so we could stop and eat our sandwiches. They have been lovely, like as if some distraction, some change is acceptable, is needed, sort of. And one of Adeline said it was 4 more beautiful days in the factory for her because we were bringing crazy things in the way, the fishes. Then they say, why the fishes? I say, well, why not? And then when J.R. proposed to make a collective group, and they were okay to do it, but then
people did this and that.
And they said yes, and they did it. And then the final thing is nice because some people that way, the other way. It seems that in a way we exaggerated the desire to be unique, to be friendly to each other. Sometimes it's not that much, maybe. They say that some groups were not. But they played it in the image. The image is even more friendly than what they used to be. And they liked it. They saw it as art, and one of the workers comes and see and say, the art is made to surprise. It changed something. And I believe that, well, when I see a beautiful film or read a book, it remains in me, like, keeps working in my mind to what it is. And I think this little adventure made something to the people. Make them feel that they're important, that we know it. Mm-hmm. We made it clear that every of them makes sense for us. And it's not curiosity, it's really empathy.
Yes. We went in a lot of villages, and the film even went in all the villages we couldn't also. But a lot were moved to tears. What was interesting that they haven't realized also our entire journey. We told them, but until they saw it, they understood which part they took in that journey. The fact that we came sometimes a few times, they realized, sometimes, some time have passed in between, like when we went back to Bonio, and, the woman said after the summer that she didn't really like being that much seen by, she was the star of the village and she was not looking forward to that. But,
because she was shy.
Yeah, because she was shy. But Janine always sends chocolate, or you send her chocolates too. They send each other letters and chocolates, and she saw the film and sent us a beautiful message.
Well, I tell you, it helped her because she had been moved out. Now they gave her another little classic, normal house. But the adventure helped her anyway to to change, because we were giving so much importance to her father, to the other people who came to be just testimony of their life. Terrible, difficult life, but they had a community that was really much together. So this sequence is really about the past because the mine are gone. But in the other places was really today and almost tomorrow. What we did was believe that chance would add what was missing, because we never prepared by written, like, let's go to this village, what they do. We knew more or less. But what could be exciting in a village or another? And you have to tell the story on the beach.
Yeah, for example, the bunker that fell on the beach. I was trying to get Agnès there for a while, but she...
Because you were going there.
Because I was going there often, and I knew this place, and I told Agnès, look, you would love it here. And she was like, I don't care about your Normandy, There's some of other places we could go to. And then maybe a year later, I was still going there, and then I said, I'll pass back again in front of this bunker. She said, where is this bunker? And I gave her the name of the village, and she was like, wait, but I've been there in 1938 and 1954, like when I was little. And then with Guy Bourdin, I did some early photo there, and this photo, of Ulysse, I took it there. And I was like, wow. And then she said, okay, let's go.
I could not believe that, between 54, we had it there. I did a lot of work loving that beach. The bunker was still up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Much before.
And before, she went there when she was 10 or 7.
Once with my mother, yes.
Yeah. So before the building, the war also. So can you imagine before even the bunker?
I knew the place before the bunker. Then in 54, the bunker was still up, but I took picture on the beach nearby there. Then the bunkers he wants me to be there. I mean, it's too much luck in a way, too much chance, because it was really there. And then we started to think about what photos, and my friend Guy Bourdin, he became a very famous photographer, I think you know, but at the time he was 23, we were friends. And he brought me there because his grandmother had a house there. So we went to film the grandmother's house. By the way, Guy Bourdin passed away years ago now. And I said, oh my God, it's nice to remember him while we're here. And so we tried to say, what could he paste? we agreed on this. But I've told it already. The photo, was like this. He was sitting very straight. And the good thing they did is that he used it like this so you could fit the shape of the stone, the shape of it's like a funeral grave in a way, but beautiful and I felt very tender about that. And we knew, because we had discussed with a man, that the tide would go and do it. So they ran to work between the high tide and the next high tide. They had to work, and we could see the sea was coming little by little. It's our own suspense that we shared on the film. Not making it suspense, but it took them ladders, difficult. It was so difficult. Yeah. I was afraid. There was wind. I don't know. I don't think
it was one of the hardest pacing I've ever done. Yeah.
While I'm doing this film with JR, having common project, meanwhile I have to have these shots. So he said, "Can I come?" I said, "Come if you wish." Then he reminded us on another level, the Nuit Andalou, Luis and Bill Andalou.
Louis Buñuel, the eye.
And I thought, the way he cuts the eye, what I get is nothing. It's a little joke, but see, he filmed it. And then, this is true that we were not intending to speak about me, but when I showed him the papers I have to read to see how much my eyes are moving, he said, "Let's make it big." So we make it big. Have you seen the huge letters with people holding them?
I was trying to understand what she said, but always in a metaphorical way. Never, we would never take those subjects.
No, it's not a medical point, huh?
But then, the last part of your question was...
the recreated scene.
Yeah, the recreated scene. We had hours, hundreds of hours in discussion in her kitchen. And in a way, we wanted to share that without, having the people bored. But that was really... because that's really only in the kitchen that we kind of rewrite the scene. That was happening here every day, but we had to rewrite it. So that's why we did it really in the style of the new waves, this style where it's staged, and at the same time it's really in part and pivoting point of the documentary. It's a key point of the documentary of what we're saying, but to understand where we're going and how we actually approaching it. But we decided to restage it and also do some cuts on what we're eating. So you can tell that we're playing with the fact that we are actually refilming ourselves. But the truth is we actually were in that kitchen every day to discuss the film, because we will only shoot 1 week a month. But during the month we would talk every day and try to figure out. We were lost most of the film, trying to see where are we going really. We didn't saw that the glasses and the whole thing with the eyes and the glasses would become that red link the whole time. We only knew that very late, So you have to imagine that the rest we would just be like, okay, where should we go in Normandy? But why? Okay, we have that in common. Let's go. But then we should go in Le Havre, see the dockers. But why? And then it would take us all the discussion before we actually go there and find the reason why. But before that, it's just hypothetical. Why would we go there? We could also go here and there and there.
But then you knew these guys, the dockers, workers, and I said, let's have a contact. It's always a good start. Then because I'm feminist, strongly feminist, I say, hey, where are the ladies in this story? And they were not even allowed to come there. So it became a story that we built with them to say that their wife, as women, and one was a truck driver, one was doing other things, and we brought them there at their surprise, right? And they became the subject we wanted to treat. But they helped us. At some point, these workers, by the way, they were in strike, so they were not working for their boss, so they could give us the material and the help, which they could not have done if they were in a normal week of work. Because thanks to the strike, they could work for us, for their wives, for the story. And we built that, it commenced up a Lego, a big Lego, so it was huge. containers, It's incredible, like a big production. And so the women could be totem, and they felt proud. You've seen that. I love that scene because it started from just saying, let's meet your wives, and then built because then took pictures, then we spoke with them, and they end up, the three of them, we had that idea, we loved it, both the idea that they could be in the box which is near their heart, the position. And one of them was afraid, the two others were proud. This is really documentary, really inventing a way that we could put the people in light, listening to what they feel, what they say. We could have done more, on this, I could have done half an hour. In everywhere we could have done half an hour. So we kept going kind of lightly, because we don't want to do a sociologue thesis, but we could have done it because we had enough material to stay and be more. So it's a real sociological documentary, but treated as, in a way, as a film for people to go. People who paid, $10 or $12, they don't want to get bored. They don't want a lesson, they want to meet people. So we travel between being very serious about what is the subject and enlightening it with sides, including some of our, everything touches us everywhere in the world, but we cannot change what's happening in the world. I think cinema should exist, whatever is happening, because cinema is a very good tool of communication, of lien. Qu'est-ce que c'est lien? Link. Cinema is a big link between people, because what you go through a film, Est-ce que tu me filmes?
Oui.
Don't you think you should do something better?
I love hearing you talk. I love that. I want to record it, and we watch them before I go to bed.
The film does feel very much at its time.
No, what I'm saying is that, besides I say that whatever is happening in countries, even though I refuse to go to Greece when they were the colonels, but some places we should refuse to go, but the world is so shitty in terms of who is free, who is not. We should decide that cinema is a language. We can get links with people who are interested. And since we bring a film about sharing, about understanding, with no violence, no guns, no suspense, nothing which is supposed to be what make the cinema work and bring money to the producers. This is not our aim. We'd love the film to be successful, sort of. So far we got good reviews, but today it's the first day with paying audience. I can't wait to know if they came 20 or 40 at 2 p.m. and how many at 4. I mean, it's curiosity because it's important for the distributors, but for us as a feeling. Are the people curious to see this? Because this is out of the way, you agree. It's really special, daring but borderline thing. It has nothing to do with heavy entertainment or even good entertainment. I read one of the papers, the two films we see first are Blade Runner and Faces Places. I guess that one is, I don't know how many million of dollars. And ours was like 1.5 million, like over 18 months. So it's like we are in another category. Our aim is really to meet people, to touch the audience. I've done that, all my life. I'm still working on the same spirit. So what he does as a street artist, as an artist, it's really meeting people, putting them together on the wall when they do the Inside Out project. You heard about the Mexican border stuff, right? That will be done next Sunday.
Yeah. And
you do a big dinner that will be the table one side of the border, a long table on the other side. I mean, that's another of these ideas that you did in Palestine and Israel, in the wall, all these laughing people of both countries. So we don't think we'll change the world, but we bring ideas that are kind of togetherness against what's happening. And we cannot fight, politics are not so good in our country. And we cannot judge everywhere, because everywhere people are selfish, everywhere people want to make money. The fights, and stupid fight for religions, fight for... you heard what happened to the Muslim in Birmania? So they have to leave and go into
Bangladesh.
The poorest country of poor countries. I mean, it's so bad what's happening, all that migration. But on that we cannot fight. So we fight at our level, making films, bringing some link between the people who come to see our films and the subject filmed. My desire is that you will not forget Janine. Will not forget the mailman who is so nice because he brings some food to the people when he brings the letters, This makes me feel good to see that. I don't know if you liked it. I always approach people out of power. And we don't give them power, but we give them light. We put them in a position that they can be feeling themselves they are important, at least for us. If for us, and also for the audience. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Is there a problem? No. So, you will remember Janine, you will remember the mailman, the one does the, jumping to ring the, to make ring the bells. Mm-hmm. Beautiful way it jumps, and you were afraid in your car. The noise was so strong. And then we did, we enjoyed meeting side little stories, like, there was something I liked so much. The woman would come and say, look, this is a little picture of my grandfather and mother. It was a love story, she said. Emily and Emile. And then the minute we took the picture of the picture, and he did that, we went to the flea market to find an oval frame so it could look like a doll. And then those people were so happy. They played with the selfie, they don't know how to handle it. She was doing, it doesn't work. And we got something which is that moment, 1 hour before, 1 hour later was another thing. They had that excitement about using the selfie to remember their family on the wall where they've been living. So a lot of little, somebody will say that I'm impressed with imperceptible feelings and moments. This is very thin. It's not even worth telling, but we decided to tell it. No, I'm saying that by giving room and importance to very little things, I think it makes us be in connection with what it is to live in peace. This is true. When the mailman says, I loved it, when he was bringing money, sometimes money goes with the post, and when he was bringing money to the people give him more melon and more tomatoes, as if it was his money. And he will come back home with melon and tomato that have been given by the people who had received letters. I love that. This is so unrational. That's what we need in life. Side stories, side little impression has nothing to do with paying something. It's fragile little moment. And that fragility came with the man. Because you feel me, I speak all the time. The man who went to have the last day of work before retirement. Did you hear that? Beautiful testimony, frightening in a way. I've been working a lot on that interview because you film me.
But because I want to hear you talk anyway, so I'm happy.
Most of the time you speak as much as me, so it's unfair today.
No.